Trying to change the franchise or the culture don't get me. You should know history repeats itself over and over and over, and I've done it over and over and over, so it should be no question why NFL franchise.
What you're about to hear was never meant to go public. A leaked audio recording, straight from behind the walls of the Browns facility. And it's all about one name, Shedeur Sanders. Not a press conference, not a social media post. A raw, unfiltered moment where the Browns coaching staff finally let their real thoughts slip. And let's just say, it changes everything.
You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people gotta say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like, it's almost normal.
If you thought the drama around Shedeur started and ended with draft day, think again. This isn't about hype. It's about control. It's about a quarterback the coaches didn't choose. Forced into a locker room already filled with egos, expectations, and yes, tension. Before we break it all down, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Because what's coming next is something the Browns won't put on the team website. So let's rewind.
Here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you. Ready to go!
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man.
April. NFL Draft. The Browns already took a quarterback, Dillon Gabriel, in round 3. Smart, efficient, low drama, a developmental guy. Gabriel fit the mold. A system QB known for consistency at Oklahoma, capable of learning quietly behind veterans. But then, round 5. Boom. Shedeur Sanders. The surprise of the draft. And depending who you ask.
How many times did Raul get touched? How many times did Raul get touched? They was able, of course, whenever you're able to run the ball consistent.
Either a future franchise star, or a PR move ordered straight from the top. Jimmy Haslam, the owner, wanted jersey sales. The front office wanted depth and discipline. The coaching staff, they wanted someone they could mold. Instead, they got Daion's son. With cameras, critics, and expectations. Let's not sugarcoat it. This wasn't a united decision. It was a tug of war. Between football and business, between player development and media spectacle.
Whenever you're able to, then that opens up the pass, you know? But it's just like, you gotta understand what your team.
And now, thanks to one leaked audio clip, we know exactly how at least one coach feels about it. The recording begins simple enough. Closed-door staff meeting, offense review, early OTA assessments. Then the name comes up, Shedeur. The room goes quiet, and one voice, confirmed by sources to be a position coach, says flat out, he's got the arm, but he's not ready, not mentally, and he thinks he's above this room. Another coach responds, that's not on him. That's on the circus around him. There's a pause. Then a quieter voice chimes in, believed to be OC Ken Dorsey. If this came from up top, we coach him. But he's not QB2. Not right now.
You know, how are we going to best attack a defense based off of our personnel and try to utilize our personnel in the best way? And that's just the focus.
There it is, laid bare. The coaching staff sees the potential. But they also see the risk, not just from Shedeur's mechanics, but from the noise surrounding his name. And here's the twist. Someone in that room hit record. Maybe out of frustration, maybe to cover themselves, maybe to expose the dynamic the media hasn't reported. Either way, that audio is now circulating in private league circles. And it paints a clear picture. This team is split.
A defense based off of our personnel and try to utilize our personnel in the best way. And that's just
You've got Deshaun Watson, expensive, experienced, and with everything to lose. You've got Jameis Winston, the wild card. Dillon Gabriel, the system guy. And now Shedeur, the lightning rod. One ball, 4 QBs, and a front office that might be pulling strings behind the scenes.
I'm not sure that one of these guys won't be on my team. I know him, so who knows? And who knows if Shaw's going.
And let's not forget how this started. Back in March, at a supply chain conference of all places, Deion Sanders took the stage. He was upbeat, joking, and proud, talking about both of his sons heading to the NFL. But then Cleveland came up, and Deion let it slip, with a grin and a chuckle. "We're praying for the Giants." Not the Browns, the Giants. That line, offhanded as it was, echoed. It felt intentional. And when video of the moment surfaced weeks later, Browns fans weren't laughing. Because deep down, they knew Deion didn't want Cleveland. And yet, that's where Shedeur ended up.
So I just like taking things one day, one step at a time. This is the biggest thing we finally accomplished, and now...
Now let's talk about Shedeur for a moment. Skip the highlight reels. Look past the social media followers. He's a talented QB, yes, but he skipped the NFL Combine. He didn't show up at the Senior Bowl, and rumors swirled about a bombed interview with the Giants. Those aren't just missed checkboxes, they're red flags. Because in the NFL, those moments matter. Scouts take notes, coaches talk, and fair or not, the perception around Shedeur became one of entitlement, of someone trying to rewrite the rules. Instead of entering the league on its terms, he tried entering on his.
I think that's the way I approach it. I think that's the way Kev approaches it, and I think that's the best way.
But here's where it gets complicated. Despite all that, the Browns took him, and they did it after already addressing the quarterback room. So was it a football move or a marketing one? Did Haslam override his football operations staff for brand power? And if so, what does that say to a coaching staff trying to build a culture?
To play better on offense, it's going to be work. It's going to be attention to detail. It's going to be.
Let's get into the locker room dynamic. Shedeur walks in as QB4, behind Watson, behind Winston, behind Gabriel. But he's also the only rookie QB with a top 5 jersey seller in the league. That creates imbalance, because for the veterans, they see a rookie who hasn't proven anything. And for Shedeur, he sees expectations few fifth-rounders have ever carried.
Clapping, he was the only one clapping out the throws, so that's real support. And everybody else, I don't know, he earned my respect today. He earned my respect. So
this is where leadership matters. Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry have a job to coach the roster they're given, not the one they wish they had. But sources say Shedeur wasn't their guy, and that matters. When a coach or GM handpicks a player, they're invested in his growth. But when a player is dropped into your lap by an owner with a marketing strategy,
us, at the end of the day, locking in and fighting and going out and playing with,
it gets tricky. There's pressure. Every rep at camp, every headline, every misstep, it all gets magnified. Because this isn't Boulder anymore. This isn't college football, where cameras chase you but defenses don't bury you. This is the NFL, where rookies don't get grace, they get tested. And Shedeur, whether he asked for it or not, is carrying more spotlight than some veterans. And with this leaked audio now circulating, the scrutiny will only grow. Players talk, coaches hear whispers. And when a locker room senses division, it doesn't take long for the cracks to show.
I wish I was there to watch him run his 40. I think he ran like a 4.52. So he's been training hard to get that done. So I'm excited that we're all...
Let's be honest. This isn't about just one rookie. It's about the Browns' identity. Are they a team trying to win football games or sell storylines? Are they chasing titles or TikToks? This is the Crossroads. Because if Shedeur performs, if he impresses during camp, shows poise under pressure, he could flip the narrative. He could be the player that forces the coaches to buy in. But if he flounders, if he leans too much on the Sanders name, if he doesn't adapt, he could implode the room.
Trying to change the franchise or the culture don't give me. You should know history repeats itself over and over and over, and I've done it over and over and over, so it should be no...
And that's the real risk. See, this leak isn't just a headline, it's a reflection of a team divided, of a staff cautious, of a franchise still trying to find its future. So what happens now? Training camp begins in weeks. QB reps will be limited. Shedeur's window will be small. He'll have to prove he can read NFL defenses, command a huddle, take hits, bounce back. He won't get many chances.
I think he's a great coach, and I also think I watched him a little bit in college.
But when he does, the cameras will be rolling. The coaches will be watching. And the fan base? They'll already have made up their minds. Because this isn't just about football, it's about belief. It's about whether a player with more spotlight than snaps can silence the doubts and become something more than a name.
In terms of that perspective, I think I'm taking that same approach as a coach as every player should be.
Here's the bottom line. The Browns took a swing. A big one. And they did it with the whole league watching. Now it's on Shedeur to prove he belongs. Not in highlight clips, not on social media, but in the trenches, in the meetings, on the field. This isn't just a story. It's a battle for the soul of the Browns. Hit that like, drop a comment, and tell me, is Shedeur Sanders the future of Cleveland football? Or just another name in a long list of what-ifs?